Well, the first part of our day is over. The Meadows is over. Well, I shouldn't say the Meadows is over for me. I know it's going to be a tough day for Patrick. It's going to be a tough day for Tenacious until we find, I'm not going to keep harping on it. It's tough right now anyway. Tenacious class he can do in. We get him going back good. Patrick, again, has to race against the likes of, who's in there today? Red Right Hand. Better Option, Matador. Those are 50 pacers all day long. So we'll see how him and Tenacious do. But I can tell you what, the rest of the day has gone very, very well. Really happy with what I saw from Rico Tubbs today. I guess, first off, I trained High Saunders this morning. He trained very, very good. He's going to race next week in the Buckeye. 59-2, come like 27-3, 27-4 with him. Very easy, and he was very good today. Really impressed with this colt and how much he's matured. Before, when you trained him by himself, even before his qualifier, he'd wander all the time and look around. He understands now. He knows what he's supposed to do. It was an impressive training mile. And I also trained Hanger 1 today, just 1.5 miles. He was good also. Jogged the fillies from the other night, wanted to get a look at them. Dr. Latessa has to have a look at Aunt Sarah, and honestly, the other 3 fillies all looked really, really well. Aunt Judy's Money, even though she chewed up that left hind, looked really good. Jogging today, as did in New York, looked good today. I have to figure out what we're going to do with in New York. We're going to take him to Kentucky and race him in the bottom class, a Wildcat class. It's possible. I guess we'll see how in New York looks over the next week, and maybe get a race in him. But I'll tell you what, he looked very comfortable, very sound today from the first step on the track, and this is 2 days after I trained him. So really happy with what I saw from the horses today. Made my way over to the Meadows. I told you guys that Rico Tubbs would be better today. Now read into it whatever you want. Obviously, it's easy for me to say now the race is over. And he had the fastest division, I think, of the Stallion Series divisions. 57-3, a commanding victory, won by 4 lengths, and looked very, very good doing it. I was really, really impressed with Rico Tubbs today. I knew he'd be better. I thought he'd be really good. I just didn't really know how good. And now we all know. He was very good this morning. Leland Hanover. That's frustrating, What are you going to do? It's not like we can put them in where we know how fast they're going to go. 52-2 was salty. I didn't see that coming. Dave's horse had caused a recall. It was acting up and, looked good, but a little horse, not a big strapping brute of a horse. In the first turn, the one horse had made a dirty break last week racing. I wanted no part of getting in behind him. I was just going to float over. I did not want to be on the front. Mike's horse put a step in and almost made a break in the first turn, so I said, well, I'll move him to the front. Dave's the favorite. I'll just tell Dave to come back around. Well, Dave didn't. He wasn't going to right away. I cleared to the front. I look back. Dave's sitting. I don't want to be on the front with Leland. Mike comes and covers me up, and I'm sitting second. And now here comes Dave. Well, I thought it was odd, but Dave's horse just overpowered everybody. 52-2. First lifetime start for this 2-year-old Stay Hungry colt. That was a heck of a mile. Mike Wilder's horse raced good to finish second. Randy had messaged me, a friend of mine, a partner of mine with Leland Hamburgers, your thoughts. I said, it's really hard to grade this horse. Was it a great mile? No. But it was 54 flat, which is improvement every week. 28 flat in the end of it. I'd like to see a 7 instead of an 8. And then paces his last half in 55-4. I said, geez, man, I was hoping, I would like to see him finish right up on the bumpers. But, again, he's an improving colt, wandering a bit down the lane. I think maybe those splints are starting to bite him a little bit. As I'd said to Tim, I think his splints bother him a little bit. We probably have to keep an eye on them, keep them painted up. Again, he's a June 11th foal. Are his knees pinching him a little bit? Is there any issues with him right now? It wasn't straight and strong all the way through the wire. It was wandering a little bit. So what was up with Leland today? It wasn't bad. 52 was unfair. It's racing. What are you going to do? You don't get to pick when they go fast in front of you. But, 54 I was hopeful for. The other division went in 54-4. I think I mopped that crew. We weren't given that option, were we? So we'll settle for a third. I didn't know what to think of the next two boys. Captain Doolittle and Go Strong Hanover. Go Strong Hanover had an entrapment we had to fix. This is an eerily similar situation to Blue Rare. What's that guy doing? An eerily similar situation to Blue Rare, where had the entrapment fixed and then bumped up against a stake race. A little different than Blue Rare in the sense that he had a couple of extra days. He had a couple of extra days to work with. Okay, where are we going here? South. Okay, that makes sense. A couple of extra days to work with. So we were able to get him trained up and get him race day. I didn't really know what to think. He was acting up, going up to the gate. He kind of bulled his way up into the... I said, enough's enough. Go on. You want to get up into the gate? Get up into the gate. And he put his nose... And he came up to it, and he kind of looked around. We trotted out of there, and he felt really dicey coming off the car. And then as everybody started to sift their way out, settle out, dropped him in. He was fine. Followed along. I thought I was third at the wire for a second. I'm like, ugh. It was tight. It was very, very close. He raced good. I think he trotted in 59. But again, with very limited work going into today, the mile wasn't a horrible mile. And then with Captain Incredible, our Captain Doolittle, I was wrong. 58. They have to go in 58 in front of you before you can try. I was thinking they're going to go 57 and I will follow and go in 58. I did follow, but I did not go in 58. 2 minutes and 4/5, 30 seconds. Finished fourth. Captain Doolittle is going to need mistakes all year. And that's obviously mistakes from other people and other horses all year, because it doesn't appear that he's going to make any, but he needs to be a wee bit faster. I wouldn't call him bad. I think the horse, he's a likable bugger. I'll tell you what, he is a likable horse. He does everything he can to get the job done and do the best he can. Ears up, finishing up the mile. He's a likable horse. But he is going to need a little help for the rest of the season. These are the types of horses, a couple of the ones we mentioned this week and him on the list, are these horses we're going to keep throughout the season. Anybody that ends up with this horse is going to like him. I just don't know if he's going to be a full-time stable horse. So we'll see. For right now, he is. And pretty happy, I guess, with a win, a third, 2 fourths. As predicted, Rico Tubbs was better and did win, so I was happy with that. Hung up a third with Leland. I wish he had been a little bit closer, but that's racing. And you can only go so fast, right? And as I said, it's going to be baby steps with this guy. If you would have told me that July the 10th he paced 54 flat, 28 at the end of it, I think I'd be happy. But I would like to see some more forward progression from him. And then the two trotters, Captain Doolittle and Go Strong Hanover, both raced pretty good. A good second place finish from Texan Soprano today in 53 flat. I was happy to see that also. And we're going to wait and see how Patrick and Tenacious does. Listen, I know how they're going to do. They're going to struggle in those classes. They go in 50 in front of them. Like Red Right Hand was thought to be a very, very good horse, as was Patrick. But this guy's a little younger than Patrick, maybe a little fresher than him this year too. He's got the outside post. I'm sure Sean is just going to try and duck him again. And we'll see how Patrick races today. Tenacious, Justin Walters is going to take over the lines today. Aaron had to leave. I spoke to him briefly and just said, just put his nose right in the gate, let the horse do his work. Don't move him in the third quarter if you wouldn't mind. And I think he'll be fine. So we'll see how Justin does with Tenacious Hanover. I'm going to land about 25 minutes before I have to go on, 23 minutes before I have to go on the track with our boy, with our girl, Tomboy Strong, and then Emerald Tom later in the evening. We have a big daily double of ours, which will be Uncle Danny and Supermind, both racing later on this evening. We have Foxy Seaside. I spoke to Ronnie briefly about Foxy Seaside also. We have Rock Shining Star, and then we're all going to tune in. I know time is on my side. It's in tough. 15-1, going for 150 in against tough horses. We do have Dexter. and he is a good horse, so we'll see how he races tonight. So that will do it for our midway, well, not really our midway mark, but for the most part, our midway mark through the day. I'll probably, you know what I could do? I'm likely not going to bring you a video when I'm done racing tonight. I'm going to be tired and stop quickly for one of these. I got a Red Bull too, in case I need that. But on the way to the airport tomorrow, I'll do a video for you. It's been an 18-minute drive. I'll be able to update you on everything that took place today, what's up tomorrow, the rest of the week, how things look, how things went, how things are going. But for right now, you're all caught up. Midway through the day, we had a win with Rico Tubbs in his second lifetime start, first stake race. We had 2/4, Captain Doolittle and Go Strong Hanover. We had a third with Leland Hanover. We had a second with Texan Soprano, and the rest is about to unfold. Take care. I will talk to you all very soon. I hope you're having